siyalandela sithi halala sithi halala
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I constitute the congregation of Durban University of Technology. The congregation is invited to sit. A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and to our graduates. I bid you a warm welcome on behalf of our Chancellor, Madam Nonkululeko Nyembezi, our Vice Chancellor, Professor Tandwa Ntembu. Thank you for attending and gracing our graduation ceremony. I know family, friends, and relatives are here in really large numbers, probably the largest number we ever had this week. So we really thank you for your support. And to our graduates as well, we have a front row of almost full red. Congratulations to you. In terms of the graduation ceremony, it is an extremely auspicious occasion. It requires a high level of dignity in terms of the way it is conducted, especially, and I speak on behalf of our university. We do understand that many of you that are seated here, which includes all the graduates and family, that you are really excited to be here this evening. Many of you have spent years in terms of reaching this point, some through 2, 3, or 4 cycles of study to walk across the stage. And naturally, you are deeply energized to celebrate. What we are asking from the university is that when you come up to stage, the important thing is for everybody to hear your name. And yes, there will be celebrations, but which we are not stopping. What we do not encourage is that when you come up, there's always a student behind you. And when you come up onto stage, the whole notion of having a dance, creating a jive, and energizing the rest of the house is something that we would not want this evening. The reason being is that the student that's behind you, you need to respect them. And if you're going to continue and get the whole house all energized, then we will never hear names of students behind you, for which it is very important for their family and friends to hear as well when you graduate. Those celebrations you can have after this graduation, wherever you are, at your home or in a club, and do all of that, but not this evening, okay? So, yes, you want to shout at your daughter, your son on stage. I'm not saying we're stopping that. You're more than welcome to do that, and your friends as well. But yeah, any formal gym activities on the stage is not encouraged. So I thank you for that, and let's make this ceremony very graceful and respect everybody, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Ukutolika nje kamafuphi okade kushiwa obambele i-Vice Chancellor uProfessor Singh unesicelo asibekile sokuthi siyazi ukuthi size la ukuzobungaza abantwana bethu bethwesa iziqu Kodwa ke akucelayo ukuthi masikwenza lokho sikwenze ngokuthula nokuhlonipha umcimbi. Uyazi ukuthi abathwesa iziqu basebenze kanzima ukuze bafike la. And baza la bezobizwa amagama abo. And kubalulekile ukuthi kuwo wonke othwesa iziqu silizwe igama lakhe. So uyacela ukuthi uma abathwesa iziqu masebefika e-stage bangabeke sebenza lokho okuhlale sikubona kwenziwa, bacule, basine, benze konke lokho okunye. Kufanele nje benze lokho esikulindele ukuthi bakwenze la e-stage. So unaleso sicelo nje obambele uVC ukuthi akuvunyeliwe ukucula nokudansa nokusina uma sokufika e-stage. Lokho sikwenzela ukuthi nalabo abanye abalandelayo sizwe amagama abo uma emenyezwa, ngoba silana nje ukuze bajabulele abantwana bethu bethweswa iziqu. Yilokho nje, siyabonga. In that note, ngicela ukubingelela. Sanibonani. Molweni. Dumelang. Good evening. Welcome to the 2023 autumn graduation ceremony of the Durban University of Technology, DUT. Igama lami, my name is Uphumzile Xulu. I am the engagement practitioner under the Office of the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research, Innovation and Engagement, Konalai DUT. It is an honor to be the program director of this graduation ceremony, and I appreciate the opportunity and I trust that sizosebenzisana ukuze senze lo mcimbi ube umcimbi ngempela ozokhunjulwa yibo bonke abatheswa iziqu namhlanje. I trust that we all work together to make this a memorable occasion for those that are receiving their degrees, diplomas, and certificates this evening. I would like to acknowledge our esteemed Chancellor, engekho phakathi kwethu in her absentia, Umama Unonkululeko Nyembezi, and also acknowledge our Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Tandam Tembu, and also acknowledge the Chairperson of Council, Mr. Wiseman Madinane, and members of the DUT Council that are here this evening, President of Convocation and members of Convex and broader alumni, members of the executive and senior management here at DUT, Registrar, Dean of Students, Deputy Vice Chancellors, the executive deans, Chief Risk Officer, Chief Information Officer, Senior Directors, Head of Departments, academic staff in the faculties, the administration and support units, also the internal stakeholder leaders from the institutional forum and our unions, the President of the SRC, members of the SRC, and the Student Parliament. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to say all protocol observed. A special welcome to our graduates who are sitting here looking so beautiful, so handsome. I can see hair's done, faces done, dress, shoes. So we're here to celebrate. I know you've got your parents, a welcome to your parents, your guardians, your family and friends, supporters and funders. And they are our honored guests here this evening. They assemble here at the hall, and there's some that are watching the ceremony via the live stream online. It is an absolute honor to be with you today to celebrate excellence and applaud our graduates for their academic achievements. This particular ceremony is for the conferment of degrees, diplomas, and certificates in the Faculty of Management Sciences. Before we go to the formal part of the ceremony, I would like to call our award-winning DUT chorale to give us a musical interlude. They're here on stage, on the other side, on your right hand. DUT chorale, the stage is yours. Thank you. Siyabonga kakhulu kwi-DUT chorale ngomculo omnandi kakhulu bathi angeke ngiphinde ngimqome uMahlalela. Asibashayeleni izandla ezinkulu. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, DUT has a strategy that we named Envision 2030, which was launched 3 years ago. The Envision 2030 continues to have a meaningful impact on our university. The 2023 Times Higher Education World University Rankings were announced in London in October last year, 2022. We are happy to share that the Durban University of Technology was ranked in the top 5 of all universities in South Africa. Yes, this means that DUT also remains the #1 university of technology in the country. This deserves a larger round of applause. Thank you very much. We are very grateful and extremely proud of our students and staff who continue to live the values and principles as enshrined in our DUT Envision 2030. On stage with us today, we have sign language practitioners that would assist our guests with hard of hearing. We have guests who borrowed our handsets for the language translation service from English to isiZulu. Please, if you have the headset, switch this on, and remember to return the headset after the ceremony. Don't take it home with you. We have paramedics and an ambulance on standby, so if any person requires medical assistance, please notify one of our ushers so that we can provide emergency help. Ladies and gentlemen, a total of 8,122 graduates will grace the graduation stage as we host 33 graduation ceremonies over 12 days. We started last week in Pietermaritzburg, and this week on Monday, we're here in Durban at the Olive Convention Center. This year, 61% of our graduates are women. Yes, this means that the women and the girl power is alive. We dominate the graduation list. So, Amanda to Imbogoto, Amanda. Thank you. I also would like to share that on Wednesday, 31 May 2023, DUT will confer an honorary doctorate degree on Professor Salim Abdul Karim, the famous South African clinical infectious disease epidemiologist who is globally recognized for his significant scientific contributions to the prevention and treatment of HIV. During the COVID-19 global pandemic, he often shared his expertise on the virus in his capacity as the chairperson of the South African Ministerial Advisory Committee on COVID-19. We are truly looking forward to having Professor Karim and his family with us in the ceremony next Wednesday. Ladies and gentlemen, in a short while, we will invite our graduates on stage. I would like to take you through, graduates, the whole process so that you would know what to expect and what is expected of you, just remembering the plea from our Vice-Chancellor with regards to the behavior on stage. So I would like you to please listen carefully because this is important. I know things change when people reach the stage. When you signal, please assemble to your left, so you go this side, with your hood over your arm. You leave your mortarboard on your seat. You'll be then ushered to the stage here. When you get to the stage, present your card to a person on the podium. Once you have presented your card, you must turn and face front. When you get here, you'll see there is footprint, wide footprint. You must stand on top of them for a picture. The guy here is taking a picture when you're here. This picture is very important because it's one of the pictures that you get to hang on the wall. So make sure that you're standing in the right position because this position has been made to make sure that you take that perfect picture. So don't lose that moment. Take your time. Take your time. It's your moment. Take your time. Don't rush. Pause. Take your picture. Smile. Once your name is read, remember to take back your card and you walk towards the stage. The graduates receiving degrees after your name is announced proceed to the Vice-Chancellor and kneel in front of the Vice-Chancellor to be kept. Make sure your face is up when you're kneeling. There's a photo opportunity at that point as well. You don't want to be caught facing down. You want a beautiful, clear picture of you being kept. So once you've been kept, you proceed to the registrar on the far end, hand over your hood, turn to face the audience again. Again, take your time, pause, smile. A picture will be taken at that point, and then you can leave the stage. Graduates receiving diploma and certificates, after your name is announced, you proceed to the center of the stage. There will be a Executive Dean to congratulate you, and a photo will be taken. So again, take your time, pause, smile, take that picture, and then you proceed to the registrar, hand over your hood, turn to face the audience again. There's another picture opportunity that you really don't want to mess it up, and then you can leave the stage. And we would like to request everyone here on the hall to stay for the entire duration of the graduation ceremony. We would like to encourage you to tag us as you share your special and epic moments on various social media platforms by using our social media handle, which is #grad2023. Graduates, please be prepared to line up and approach the stage. At this time, I would like to call upon the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Management Sciences, Professor Natwera, to commence with the rest of the graduation ceremony. Thank you.
Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to award the diplomas and certificates and to confer degrees on the graduates from the Faculty of Management Sciences who will be presented to you, and in absentia to those whose names appear on the program.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer the degrees and award the diplomas and certificates.
For the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, in Business Administration, title of the thesis reads, Social Entrepreneurship as a Tool for Sustainable Development in the Townships in KwaZulu-Natal Province. In the absence of the supervisor, Dr. L.M. Likanya, I would like to call upon the HOD, Professor D. Zondo, to read the summary of the thesis.
Globally, social entrepreneurs have been identified as major contributors to solving social problems such as unemployment, poverty, and inequalities. They are also considered to promote economic transformation through their significant contribution to a country's GDP and play a crucial part in achieving sustainable development. However, there's still a lagging behind in using this phenomenon to address many socio-economic issues in South Africa, especially in township communities. Emmanuel investigated the factors affecting social entrepreneurs' contribution to sustainable development in the INK township, that is the Inc. area in KZN. Using a snowball sampling technique to identify social entrepreneurs, he found that society's perception, social networking, social impact, measurement, and access to financial resources are catalysts to social entrepreneurs' performance, whilst other environmental factors are also identified to have significant impact on social entrepreneurs. They found these findings provide insights into both the theoretical and practical implications of social entrepreneurs' contribution to sustainable development.
For the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in Business Administration, I present Emmanuel Inalengu Akol. For the degree, Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in business administration, whose thesis is entitled The Level of Financial Literacy of Agribusiness Entrepreneurs in Zimbabwe, supervised by Dr. E. Vengesai and co-supervised by Dr. F. Manimutu. I would like to call upon Dr. F. Manimutu to read the summary of the thesis.
Agribusiness is the cornerstone of the Zimbabwean economy, as most people survive on agricultural-related activities, and it is regarded as the first step to fighting poverty among the rural population. However, the sector has not been performing well in terms of productivity due to various factors, which include poor management of borrowed funds, higher loan defaults, and financial exclusion. The study sought to assess the level of financial knowledge, financial behaviors, and financial attitudes of agribusiness entrepreneurs, and to develop an operationalization model to improve financial literacy. Pragmatism research philosophy guided this research and employed a sequential mixed method research design. Research findings established that agribusiness entrepreneurs have low financial knowledge, exhibit poor financial behaviors, and have good financial attitudes, except for diverting a portion of business loans for personal use. The general level of financial literacy was very low among agribusiness entrepreneurs. Hence, the study recommended a financial literacy operationalization model for consideration in making reforms by policymakers.
For the degree, Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in business administration, I present Lillian Gumbo. For the degree, Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in business administration, the thesis is entitled The Impact of Financial Knowledge on the Economic Empowerment of Women Entrepreneurs in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa, supervised by Dr. L.M. Lekanya, and in the absence of the supervisor, I would like to call upon the head of the department, Professor D. Zondo, to read the summary of the thesis.
Entrepreneurial activities play crucial roles in poverty alleviation, job creation, economic development, and empowerment worldwide. However, women entrepreneurs face numerous challenges, including insufficient financial knowledge, gender inequality, lack of productive assets, which limit their access to finance and economic empowerment. In this regard, Ka Muzombo conducted a study to examine the effect of financial knowledge on the economic empowerment of women entrepreneurs in Durban, South Africa. Drawing on the feminist theories, the study collected quantitative data from 400 women entrepreneurs, revealing that gender inequality and limited opportunities hinder their entrepreneurial growth and success in a male-dominated environment. The study suggests a new feminist conceptual model for the policymakers and women-owned businesses to promote women's economic empowerment. Ultimately, empowering women entrepreneurs will lead to broader economic development and poverty alleviation in South Africa and beyond.
Acting Vice Chancellor for the degree, Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in Business Administration, I present Kamzombo Kandolo. For the degree, Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in Business Administration, whose thesis is entitled Experiences of Senior Female Academic Leaders in Universities of Technology in South Africa, supervised by Professor I.G. Govender. I would like to call upon Dr. A. Anwana, the head of postgraduate studies, to read the summary of the thesis.
Enforcing higher education institutions to enact policies geared at advancing women into leadership roles is one aspect of South Africa's transformation. Universities have not been moving forward quickly, despite the fact that the obstacles to achieving the desired government objectives still exist. This study examines the lived experience of the female leaders and their ideas and attitudes regarding their responsibilities in senior leadership in higher education, with a particular focus on the women who were already in senior leadership positions in South African universities of technology. In order to get a more in-depth understanding of the participants' personal experience as senior leaders in higher education, 10 randomly selected female leaders were interviewed as part of this study's qualitative methodology. Atlas TI was used to transcribe and analyze the results. The results suggested that women are still faced with issues of hostility, sexism, tokenism, and patriarchy. However, female leaders are now maneuvering through challenges they currently face.
Acting Vice Chancellor for the degree, Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in Business Administration, I present Zanele Tandeka Mabaso. For the degree, Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in Business Administration, whose thesis is entitled The Application of Space Technology and the Challenges of Managing Water Infrastructure in a Selected South African Municipality, supervised by Professor R. Mason. I would like to call upon, in the absence of Professor Mason, Dr. Anwana, E. Anwana, the head of postgraduate studies, to read the summary.
The study investigates the challenges of major water infrastructure installations, ranging from inaccessible streets, limited access to homes, deep and unbarricaded trenches, leaking pipes, power cuts, and vandalism and theft of water pipes. These challenges become a problem for managers who have to overcome inadequate planning, leadership, organizing, controlling, and coordination. Leslie conducted this research through interviews with purposive sampling of City of Zwane managers, contractors, focus groups, and a citizen survey. He found that the city faces the challenges of inexperienced staff, inefficient communication, dilapidated infrastructure, limited budget, shortage of staff, reactive maintenance, vandalism and theft, lack of planning, political interference, resistance to technology, and no training in space technology. The study provides recommendations on how these challenges can be overcome, including by the use of space technology.
Acting Vice Chancellor for the degree, Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in Business Administration, I present Matlo Leslie Mohobu. For the degree, Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in Business Administration, whose thesis is entitled Challenges Experienced by Local Authorities in Achieving and Sustaining Clean Audit Outcomes, supervised by Professor V.P. Rauji and co-supervised by Professor R. Balkaran. In the absence of both the supervisor and co-supervisor, I call upon Dr. E. Anwana, the head of postgraduate studies, to read the summary of the thesis.
Foreign direct investment, FDI, flows have grown rapidly as the global economy has become more integrated. However, it has been of great concern in South Africa that the inflow of FDI has been rising steadily in recent years. Although the country's economic growth has slowed, this observation is startling because the government's motivation in attracting FDI is based on the neoliberal school of thoughts. Therefore, this study used a mixed research method, including the autoregressive distributed lag, the ARDL, techniques, and interviews with experts in international finance to examine the effects of FDI on economic growth. Using annual time series data from 1980 to 2021, the ARDL approach estimated the relationship between FDI and economic growth. The study found that FDI has a positive effect on economic growth, and that structural constraints have prevented South Africa from fully benefiting from FDI. The interview with the experts provide insight into the factors that drive FDI inflow and economic growth. The findings suggest that to maximize FDI benefits, the government needs to create a favorable investment climate, minimize bureaucratic barriers, and address the skills gap in the workplace. Therefore, policymakers and stakeholders should take steps to promote a conducive environment to boost economic growth.
Acting Vice Chancellor for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in Business Administration, I present Michelle Muzuva. For the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in Business Administration, whose thesis is entitled The Influence of Ethical Leadership and Organizational Culture on Employee Commitment in the City of Johannesburg, supervised by Professor A.T. Agbenyega, and in the absence of the professor, I invite Dr. E. Anwana, the head of postgraduate studies, to read the summary of the thesis.
Recently, the City of Johannesburg has received much negative media attention. Many reports in the media portray unethical behavior by some senior managers and employees of the City of Johannesburg. This indicates that the City of Johannesburg faces numerous challenges and is not immune to or exempt from corruption and perceptions of poor organizational culture and unethical behavior. Joseph explored the influence of ethical leadership and organizational culture on employee commitment in the city of Johannesburg amongst a selected sample of senior managers and specialist participants. Using the quantitative method, he discovered that ethical leadership is critical in positively influencing employee commitment and that organizational culture contributes substantially to employees' commitment in the city of Johannesburg.
Acting Vice Chancellor for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in business administration, I present Joseph Mburaheni Ndou. For the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in business administration, whose thesis is entitled Bridging Work Experience to Improve Employability of Business Studies Graduates in Gauteng, supervised by Professor A.T. Akbenyenga, and in the absence of the professor, I invite Dr. E. Anwana, the head of postgraduate studies, to read the summary of the thesis.
There is a universal call to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity. Not that one. Okay, sorry. Unemployment is one of South Africa's biggest challenges. The unemployment rate for graduates and others with university degrees currently exceed 30%. Lack of work experience is cited as one of the main reasons for graduates to secure employment. Vuyokazi examined the association between employment, work experience, and graduate employability. The results showed that work experience had a positive but statistically insignificant impact on graduates' employability. These results suggest that work experience alone is not sufficient to make graduates employable. There are other aspects and skill sets such as behavioral skills, technical skills, strategic skills, and functional skills which have a significant impact on graduate employability. Key stakeholders in higher education and labor markets should form meaningful partnership in which they can identify and prioritize the employability skills needed to seamlessly transition graduates into the industry. Students should be required to complete a work-based learning course or a structured internship as part of their studies. In this way, they would be prepared to integrate into the industry after graduation. Having already gained experience during work-based learning, a further recommendation is that employer involvement in course design and delivery could have a positive impact on graduate employability. These findings have relevance for business study graduates to be employable.
Acting Vice Chancellor for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in business administration, I present Vuyokazi Nkomo. For the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in business administration, whose thesis entitled modeling values, entrepreneurial competencies, and sustainable development, a case of small, medium, and micro enterprises in eThekwini municipal area, supervised by Dr. N. Potwana. I would like to call upon the supervisor to read the summary.
There is a universal call to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity. This to be done in a way that preserves human, social, economic, and environmental areas. At the heart of economic development is the business world, in particular, small, medium, and micro enterprises who are seen as being very responsive to societal needs and are thus able to mitigate afflictions such as poverty and unemployment. The South African government does offer financial and skills training to SMMEs. However, the two main ills of poverty and unemployment have not been dented. The study sought to examine the behavioral side of entrepreneurs by testing how values impact competence so that sustainable development is achieved. The research area was eThekwini municipality, which is an economic hub of the KwaZulu-Natal province. To establish these relationships, data was collected from 400 SMMEs, and SEM was used to test the structural relationships between honesty, integrity, and transparency, identified as key values that entrepreneurs should have, while accountability, social interaction, and personal identity were conceptualized as key competencies. The main measures of sustainable development were poverty alleviation and creation of employment opportunities. Sijuade found that honesty and transparency are highly linked to accountability, and that integrity has a significant effect on social interaction, and accountability does not have a significant impact on neither poverty alleviation nor creation of employment opportunities.
Acting Vice Chancellor for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in Business Administration, I present Sijuade Adedayo Ogunsola. For the degree, Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in Business Administration. Title of the thesis reads, Financing Agricultural Cooperatives and the Significance of Financial Bootstrapping, and Uswati Municipal Case Study is supervised by Professor E.A. Mantisir and Mantizaris, and co-supervised by Dr. M.M. Sikwela. I would like to call upon Dr. M.M. Sikwela to present the summary of the thesis.
Agricultural cooperatives remain the option to create jobs for rural people and afford them participation in economic activity in South Africa. However, they face many challenges, especially lack of financing and hence an extremely high mortality rate of 88%. With the constraints to access outside funding, there is a need to investigate bootstrapping as a means of obtaining resources, which reduces the need for outside financing. The study was conducted in Umshwati municipality with agricultural cooperatives on the municipality's database. A sequential mixed method, which involves quantitative and qualitative design, was employed to achieve the objectives of the study. Non-probability sampling technique was used to select the sample. Data was collected using a questionnaire and face-to-face semi-structured interviews. Descriptive analysis was done using SPSS and thematic analysis through Atlas TI. Cooperatives practiced mainly owner-related bootstrapping methods. Little or no evidence of bootstrapping practices related to sharing resources, minimizing capital invested in stock and accounts receivable. Cooperatives stifled their growth by counter-bootstrapping practices due to ancestral beliefs. Cooperatives must lease equipment, purchase used equipment, build relationships with customers, suppliers, and leverage them as a source of funding. Cooperatives must work together and take advantage of the economies of scale. Thank you.
Acting Vice-Chancellor, for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in business administration, I present Wonginkosi Keith Zwane. For the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences in Leadership and Complexity, the thesis is entitled Challenges Experienced by Local Authorities in Achieving a Sustaining Clean Audit Outcomes. It is supervised by Dr. S. Hardman. In the absence of the supervisor, I will call upon the HOD, Professor Zondo, to read the thesis.
Municipalities within the district of Futugela in the KwaZulu-Natal province in South Africa were explored as they are experiencing negative audit outcomes in extreme, complex, and turbulent situations. Maladministration as embedded in unethical leadership qualities displayed by councillors and senior managers was investigated to determine whether the existing systems are not deliberately created to facilitate a corrupt municipal environment. This study, therefore, encouraged municipalities to be ongoing, creative, and innovative centers of learning in response to unanticipated emerging new subsystems. Concluded that systems thinking approach may be applied to explore the potential of developing top decision makers that are able to swim against the tide at municipal level. Recommended that soft systems model be applied by change agents to concentrate on people's behavior while unpacking various perspectives and circumstances expressed by subordinates to resolve worldwide problem situations.
Acting Vice-Chancellor, for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Management Sciences, specializing in leadership and complexity, I present Madoda Pumla Katide. Acting Vice Chancellor for the degree Master of Management Sciences, specializing in Business Administration, dissertation titled The Perceived Effectiveness of Local Economic Development, a Strategy of Alfred Nzo District Municipality on Entrepreneurship, supervised by Professor Dr. L.M. Likanya. I present Zukile Sivuyile Mazwi. For the degree Master of Management Sciences, specializing in Business Administration, dissertation entitled Personal Factors Influencing the Success of Immigrant Small Business Owners in the eThekwini Metropolitan Area, supervised by Dr. B. Chazireni. I present Londiwa Etha Mbili. The dissertation is awarded cum laude. For the degree Master of Management Sciences, specializing in Business Administration, dissertation title, An Investigation into the Effects of Staff Participation on the Pass Rates for an Electrical Engineering course at a University of Technology, supervised by Dr. R. Hari Prasad. I present Suntra Sagen Mudlia. For the degree Master of Management Sciences, specializing in Business Administration, dissertation titled Evaluating the Influence of Social Responsibility Practices on the Performance of Small and Medium Automotive Manufacturers in the eThekwini Metropolitan Municipality, supervised by Professor R. Zondo. I present Nono Pele Buhle Vakwendlu. For the degree Master of Management Sciences is in Business Administration, a dissertation titled The Impact of Entrepreneurship Program on Students' Future Career Decision, the case study of the Durban University of Technology, supervised by Dr. G. Chetty. I present Mtokozisi Nkululeko Mzimela. For the degree Master of Management Sciences, specializing in Business Administration, dissertation title, customer perceptions of quality service delivery within the Department of Financial Aid at a University of Technology, supervised by Professor J.K. Adam, I present Agenre Naidu. Acting Vice Chancellor, I now call upon the relevant HOD to present the names of the graduates as per the program.
Buthelezi Dombeziningi Doka. Njabulo Kululeko Dlamini. Anele Hawa Kwala. Duduzo Charles Mzwandile Makakula. Namisile Promise Mpele. Nontobeko Thabisile Mlambo. Zethembe Mlambo. Nontobeko Kosisithandile Nyandu. Ziyanda Bungumenzi Mieza. Darren Naika. Nonkululeko Zondi. Aphile Kabane. Dalubuhle Zozi. Ayanda Pengu. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the advanced diploma in management sciences, including the other one. Kanyisile Brightness Dlamini. Asul Bahlebonke Minenhle Dubazane. Mtutuzi Kuwe. Nhlakanipho Khumalo. Nokubonga Sne Khumalo. Nozibusiso Numpumelelo Khumalo. Nolwazi Manche Mapechane. Sandiswa Sendi Maphumulo. Naledi Masakala. Tobile Hendretta Mbeko. Netisi Freedom Mbuyazi. Ngamsile Xolile Mdletshe. Iviwe Mkhokhelwa. Fortunate Thandeka Mnyandu. Ayanda Mvumo. Masivuye Mwezeni. Jodage Saint Nesam Nayega. Brilliant Malusi Ndlovu. Ayanda Sihle Winston Ngobo. Sibongokuhle Sindisiwe Ngobese. Philile Anxious Ngomane. Stabilise Ngubane. Vuyiswa Jacqueline Nhleko. Sibekezelo Timbane. Sunset Malusi Phehlamanzi. Zoleka Shamase. Snethemba Shozi. Noxolo Keris Kakane. Thokoza Thusi. Nontobeko Sinenhlanhla Shabalala. Ladies and gentlemen, Diploma in Management Sciences in Business Administration, that is Lindokuhle Le Bamba. Shivona Beharitlal. Ngobile Cholukulunga Bulose. Phefumlela Busakwe. Siyethemba Nomkhosi Buthelezi. Sphelele Wandile Buthelezi. Zwandile Good Hope Cyril Cebekhulu. Londiwe Candice Thule. Makhosazane Fortunate Nomajama Dlamini. Mondli Dlamini. Nokuthula Zandile Dlamini. Kulekani Vukani Dube. Mhleli Muhle Duma. Begumuzi Kumete. Nxusile Zikhona Kumete. Themba Philani Kumete. Thembeka Fortunate Kwamanda. Kwandokuhle Hlengwa. Silindile Zinhle Hlongwa. Noncedo Hlongwane. Amanda Kanyile. Sinenhlanhla Brilliant Kanyile. Xolani Kasana. Snethemba Kaula. Thembile Andile Keswa. Silindile Nondumiso Khoza. Thuthuka Mkhululi Khuboni. Sibonelo Samkelo Khumalo. Lungisani Kenneth Khuzwayo. Azama Kubundila. Lindy Laurentia Debra Luthuli. Nothani Sebenzile Luvuno. Sphindile Ntombizonke Mabuyakhulu. Fisokuhle Nongcebo Madlopha. Nomthandazo Nontobeko Mantengu. Ngubeko Simpiwe Mathenjwa. Neliseka Thobeka Mazibuko. Smanga Mazibuko. Mawande Mvelo Mbatha. Siyabonga Mpele. Siwongiwe Bem. Zamokuhle Bright Lizwi Mpele. Yamkela Mbuyeleni. Lungile Phosha Xolisile Mchunu. Thabile Petunia Mdladla. Nosipho Portia Ndluli. Buhle Melane. Fezeka Nompilo Mfeka. Nothando Zama Mkapi. Bongumusa Mjwaha. Lindani Andile Mkhwanazi. Nogwazi Mkhize. Nokwethemba Mlaba. Pelelani Timothy Mlambo. Siyabonga Nduduzo Mnguni. Ngobile Minenhle Mpila. Begani Emmanuel Msani. Sanele Mtetwa. Nondumiso Mthembu. Zamathembu Bongiwe Mthembu. Busani Mthethwa. Neliswa Mthethwa. Ntombenhle Zamandulo Mthimkhulu. Masamkele Mtolo. Mandisi Mtshali. Robin Casey Mayberg. Gugu Precious Nala. Noxolo Dlangisa. Sinenhlanhla Nothando Ndlazi. Sinenjabulo Londiwe Ndlovu. Lindelwa Zama Ngobo. Nomkhuleko Sinegugu Ngobo. Thandwa Talente Mukela Ndobo. Themba yena Siyanda Ngidi. Amanda Phumlile Ngubane. Nduduzo Ngubane. Sanelisiwe Cheryl Ngubane. Phindile Patience Ngwane. Thank you. Simpiwe Clinton Ngwane. Mark Sana Ngwenya. Thank you. Babongile Happiness Nhlapho. Bonginkosi Fano Ntlenyane. Musawenkosi Innocent Konyana. Nondumiso Ngubuka. Zandile Ntsugwini. Slindile Ayanda Pearl Ntimbane. Themba yena Kanzimulo Changase. Qiniso Lindani Ntuli. Mazwi Bright Nxumalo. Nomzamo Otilia Nxumalo. Nothando Precious Nxumalo. Snegugu Phumla Nyawo. Sphelele Nyawo. Banele Jabulo Nyembe. Brittany Alcin Pillay. Ntabiseng Radebe. Nosihle Shabalala. Asanda Kailihle Shange. Mtandi Shembe. Nomonde Shibase. Pepisile Gcinakahle Shobete. Asanda Sfundo Sibisi. Sifiso Mthokozisi Sibiya. Bayolise Sitshilwane. Sitshalweni. Nhlakanipho Cleopas Thembani. Nothando Siphesihle Vilakazi. Domifuthi Xaba. Sifunde Nkosenhle Xaba. Luvo Gift Xasibe. Thabile Zanele Zulu. Zusiphe Langelihle Zulu. Ncebo Sibonelo Zuma. Zakhona Zuma. We've got the higher certificate cohort. We start with Ntombiyenkosi Thobeka Makhoba. Ayanda Kanyile. Lindani Good Enough Nyati. Lenanto Vancha.
Wow. Yazi yayinhle into. What a proud moment. Ladies and gentlemen, let's join hands as we applaud this sterling achievement of all graduates. Wonderful. Bathi kunje nje nje kwenza ba. Unjalo. Now, graduates, we acknowledge that this has been a long and eventful journey for you. You had had many sleepless nights preparing for your assessments, your exams, writing dissertations, researching, writing papers, and many, many things that you did to get you here. We acknowledge that there has been a lot of people in your lives that have supported you in your journey, and some of them are here this evening to celebrate this with you, your parents, your guardians, spouses, family, and friends. So graduates, I would like to ask that you stand. Put your mortarboard on, because now you're graduates, so you can put your mortarboard on. And please stand, all the graduates. And please look to your right, and wave and salute your guests, your parents that supported you through this journey. Thank you. And then also face the front and then wave to your lecturers, your professors, your supervisors that helped you. Thank you very much. And now, graduates, I would like to make that one big photo moment. On the count of 3, I'd like you to take your mortarboard out in the air and wave it and be proud of this moment. Ladies and gentlemen, in 1, 2, 3, I present you the DUT graduation class of 2022. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very, very much. You may take your seats. Thank you very much. It is a proud moment indeed for all of us. Graduates, the university hopes that you will be vibrant, critical participants in this democracy. We hope that you will engage actively as robust entrepreneurs in the economy. We hope that you will display leadership and activism in the communities in which you are embedded, that you give maximally of yourselves to them. As graduates, you will automatically become members of the convocation, a statutory body that helps to shape the university. It is an active body, and we hope that you maintain your relationship with the university through it. We also hope that you will return to the university to take up postgraduate studies. South Africa needs many more highly trained, highly skilled people like you. So to you all, this is not a permanent goodbye. At this point, may I call the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Management Sciences, Professor Fulu Natwera, to share a congratulatory message and a vote of thanks. Let's give him a big round of applause as he takes the stage.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Acting Vice Chancellor, I think we should agree and acknowledge that for DUT to be what it is because of the various forces that are pulling together towards the same direction. And we should therefore acknowledge the leadership of our Chancellor, Madam Nonkululeko Nyembezi in absentia. We should equally acknowledge the leadership of the Chairperson of Council, Mr. Wiseman Madinane, who's also absent, and Council members, some present, some absent. we acknowledge the leadership of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Thandwa Mthembu, who's also absent today. Siyabonga imindeni yenu, abazali, izihlobo, and everybody else who has made your journey light and possible. We also want to thank the DUT staff members, be they academic and intellectual personnel, or be they administrative staff members who have supported you throughout your journey in the past few years. Acting Vice Chancellor, we graduated at this session a total of 244 graduates, of which 13 are doctoral and 6 are masters. Malcolm X said once that education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it. And I do believe that you are well prepared as of today. You can claim, coming out of here, that indeed you have acquired the necessary skills and expertise to hold the certificate that is in your hand. And with that in your hand, you can knock at any door, at any place, and feel proud that all employers, all enterprises all over the world will acknowledge the achievements that you have acquired. Nelson Mandela, the late president, once also indicated, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And I believe that indeed you have that weapon in your hand. Please go and use that weapon productively to change the world in which we live. Our university strategy, DUT Envision 2030, indicates, among other things, the following. It says our people will be productive, innovative, entrepreneurial, and adaptive to changes in the world. I do strongly believe that you are creative, you are innovative, and you will continue to be entrepreneurial going forward. This implies that be there no job or be there jobs in the labor market, you will still be able to find your way and path and make your livelihood, facilitate your livelihood without much gripe. Our Envision 2030 also indicates that our people will participate productively in the development of our region, our country, and the world. And we strongly, equally believe that you are going to change this world. Our country currently, as well as our continent and the world, currently goes through major challenges. Challenges of an economic nature, challenges of a political nature, and we believe that the solution to some of these problems lies here. I'm sure you believe the same, because only if you do believe can you make that necessary difference. I do believe that you will make the difference. As you look towards your celebrations, be it this evening or tomorrow or midweek, we caution that you do that respectfully and cautiously, so that you do not endanger yourselves or danger any other individuals around you. Our Envision 2030 calls upon you to be transparent, honest, respectful, accountable, and professional in your conduct. And I believe that you will continue in your personal lives and in your lives at work to behave as such. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much and enjoy your evening.
Siyabonga ku Executive Dean of Management, Faculty of Management Sciences, Professor Fulu Netswera, for encouraging us to believe and that we will make a difference. Another big round of applause for the message to congratulate all the graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, we now nearing the end of our ceremony this evening. Just one reminder before we close. The Center for Quality Promotion and Assurance is conducting a survey for all graduates. You'll be sent an SMS. Please click the link to participate. And we thank you in advance as you support and participate in that survey. In the moment, I will ask you to stand for the singing of the national anthem. As a mark of respect, I will humbly request all gentlemen to remove your headgear during the singing of the national anthem. And also, as a sign of respect and the usual protocol, there's no need to clap at the end of the singing of the national anthem. At the end of the national anthem, the acting Vice-Chancellor, Professor Singh, will dissolve the congregation. I request the congregation to remain standing until the academic procession has left the hall. With that, dear graduates, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the DUT family, I thank you so very much for your cooperation this evening. You have indeed made this occasion a memorable one for all graduates that we had and their families that were here this evening. So I take this time to thank you and wish you a pleasant evening as you continue to celebrate. And please be safe and responsible, and remember to tag us as you share your photos and videos on social media. The handle is #DUTGrad2023. Congratulations again as we stand to join the singing of the national anthem of the Republic of South Africa. I thank you all. Good evening. Hambani kahle.
Israel,
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I dissolve the congregation of the Durban University of Technology. On behalf of the Chancellor, Madame Nonkululeko Nyembezi, and our Vice-Chancellor, Professor Thandwa Mthembu, I wish to thank all the parents, family, relatives, and graduates for being present here today and granting dignity to this auspicious graduation ceremony. A special thank you for all the family, friends, and relatives who have attended. Thank you for supporting all the graduates in terms of getting them to this day. We really appreciate it. Thank you to the graduates for choosing DUT as your home to complete your degrees, your diplomas. We really appreciate it. May you continue to reap success in whatever you do and drive our ailing economy in South Africa. In particular, we have a red brigade in front of us this evening. May all of you strive to achieve that as well. And I want to congratulate the faculty and those graduates and all members who contributed towards the supervision of the students. Our former student leader, Dr. Zwana, is here. So congratulations to him as well. So have a great evening, graduates. Celebrate, be safe, and a safe journey home to all of you. Thank you.